go to the ICJ?
On Belize's independence.
Guatemala has taken over the SARC.
I know that this entire ICJ referendum may be complex, complicated, and confusing. But if you can allow me just 10 minutes of your time, I could break this thing down real good. Way back before Belize dame Belize, you had the Mayans living here. These people are the original inhabitants. As time passed, you begin to have one shift in Europe after countries like England, Spain, Portugal, and Italy stop fight up amongst themselves and start to think about conquering new lands. Spain made the first one out the gate, and then made the push to spread Christianity and to get new riches such as gold. Christopher Columbus made the first to sail out in 1492. But when this happened, the race set off because England and Portugal said that they no one left Spain to get everything at all. The Spanish encountered the Mayans when they came to this side and eventually chased them inland. Sometime after, the Spanish moved away from this area and the British stepped right in and set up shop. They set up politically and economically and truly took over control of this area, which became known as British Honduras. After this happened, the Spanish tried several times to get the British out, but every time the British refused and fight back. The last time Spain tried to kick out the British was on the 10th of September 1798, when there was the Battle of St. George's Caye. The British defeated Spain once and for all. Spain never did return after that. Time passed and the British continued with business as usual and continued to expand and put down deeper roots. They never till about 1821, when Guatemala get its independence, that the problems start. Guatemala starts so that they have rights over Belize because they are many heirs of Spain, which the British never did agree with at all. In order to come to an understanding though, and to preserve peace, the British and Guatemalans decide to draft up one treaty. The first one where the Guatemalans proposed, that mean one per session. But the British said, no man, Guatemala never did own this, so uno can't give away something where uno never own. That when they come up with the 1859 border treaty. But you know what? They never only sign the treaty, you know. They also ratify the treaty, which simply means that Guatemala and Britain take the treaty and gone and make the Congress accept it as valid. I guess only the wonder why after both the British and the Guatemalans signed and ratified the border treaty, Guatemala now claim Belize. It has to do with Article 7 of the 1859 treaty, which said that both the British and Guatemalans may use their best efforts to establish the easiest communication. That meant that both British and Guatemalans may use either one cart road or river to make Guatemala have access to the Caribbean Sea. So in 1863, the British offered £50,000 as financial contribution to this cart road if Guatemala would provide the labor, with the condition that Guatemala only had 6 months to accept this offer. When the Guatemalan negotiators went back to Guatemala City to get this agreement ratified by their Congress, they found that the country was in war. Basically, they never have no time to deal with no cart road business at the moment. By the time the Guatemalan Congress could accept and ratify the offer, 2 years may already pass. They missed out on the 6-month period, and so the British said, I am sorry, but the offer is no longer there. Even though Guatemala may vex about this and may the whole one league grudge, in 1931 they actually come together with the British and sign one next treaty, the 1931 Exchange of Notes, which further recognized the 1859 border treaty. But on top of that, they even worked along with Britain to build up border monuments at Gracias and Garbutt's Falls, which form part of the border. So now, despite signing 2 border treaties, in 1946, the Guatemalan Congress officially declared the 1859 treaty null and void. But the right there so Guatemala gone wrong. Because in international law, once two countries sign and ratify a boundary treaty, the border have one permanence of its own. That simply means that Guatemala could get vexed and tear up the treaty all they want, but the border still remains intact as per the border treaty. That from then, the British tried to negotiate with the Guatemalans to make them recognize the border, but it never did work. Britain realized that the only way for me settle the dispute, that for me go to court. So for years, they try to make the Guatemalans accept to go to court on the basis of legality. But Guatemala refused. They only wanted to go to court based on equity, meaning they wanted the court to look at them with sympathy. Make me fast forward to 1981. Belize got its independence, assumed full sovereignty of the entire territory, and took over ownership of everything, including the Guatemalan dispute. Since independence, the government of Belize tried all kind of things to resolve this claim with Guatemala. Belize tried negotiation, we tried mediation, and even facilitation, but none of that worked. So then the OAS recommended that we go to the ICJ to resolve this dispute. Then until 2008, Guatemala finally agreed to go to the ICJ on the basis of legality. So both countries signed a special agreement, whether simply one 3-page book with the rules and procedures what we want to follow if citizens give the government permission to take the matter to the ICJ. The most important part, the Article 2, which said that if we go to the ICJ, the judges must examine the dispute only on legal basis and nothing to do with equity. Clearly, this is bad news to Guatemala. Article 38(1) of the ICJ's statute lists 4 main things the judges they will have to look at to make one decision. They have to look at 1, treaties, and we have the 1859 and the 1931 treaties in our favor. 2, international custom, which means they will look at who live on the land and exercise control. We have occupied Belize for over 200 years, and Guatemala never exercised control over any part of Belize. 3, principles of international law. So then we'll look at our independence, which is already recognized by every country. And finally, past cases, which means the precedent where the court already set. If Belizeans vote no, the issue going on, and we will continue to spend money to try to settle it and continue to have to deal with Guatemalan aggression. If Belizeans vote yes, the ball will get rolling within 1 year, and the legal arguments will start take place. After the ICJ rules, which will take about 4 to 6 years, both parties will have to accept the decision. And Guatemala already agreed to work along with Belize to properly demarcate the entire border after the ruling. If Guatemala changed their mind on that, the OAS could start the process, and if needed, Belize could get the UN Security Council to intervene. So there you have it in a nutshell. The entire history of Belize-Guatemala dispute, what the ICJ is about, and what to expect after the referendum. You now have an even better chance of making an informed decision when you go to vote. Remember, on April 10th, 2019, you decide.